Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, one killed in North Walpole house fire. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Ray Brewer.
The loss of this life is horrible, absolutely horrible.
The call came in around 3:15 in the morning, reporting a fire at 8 East Street in North Walpole. The sound of someone pounding on the side of her house woke up Kathleen Lucius Smith and her family.
I jumped up, opened up the window, looked outside, and there was smoke coming from the house across the way.
Kathleen says the homeowner was the one pounding on her house, asking her to call 911.
Is there anybody in the house? And he had said his son was in the house. My husband came down, and him and the man tried to go back into the house at this point, but there was so much smoke.
Thinking that the person might be asleep, all the neighbors tried to make as much noise as they could.
We were banging on anything we could find, trash cans.
I responded direct, had light smoke showing from the front side.
The fire chief says the first crew to respond was mutual aid from Bellows Falls, Vermont.
I sent their crews in with a hand line to do attack and to search if anybody was in there.
The chief says they did have initial reports that someone was still inside. Unfortunately, when firefighters made it to the second floor, they made the grim discovery.
Entry crews went in to do an attack. We did happen to come across a body.
Again, we are awaiting official word on the identification of the victim in this fire. The fire chief says that no firefighters were hurt, they didn't have any problems with the cold, and they were able to get this fire knocked down very quickly. Reporting live in North Walpole, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Two young children found stabbed to death inside apartment. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB, Boston.
Well, Ed and Emily, right now, this is a very fluid situation. The district attorney will not confirm how the children died, but we do know that those two children were found inside the third-floor apartment at this home on Prospect Street. Crime scene tape surrounds the house at 247 Prospect. A rug hangs from the railing of the top floor of the multifamily home. Two children found dead inside, and our partners at the Brockton Enterprise say an automated call went out to city council members from the mayor's office confirming the stabbing deaths of the two young children.
Earlier this afternoon, a 911 call was received from a neighbor reporting a medical incident here in Brockton. We haven't got a positive idea as of yet, but they were small children, probably in the age bracket of 5 or 8.
Authorities say there is currently no one in custody, although they have not issued any type of warning to the public. And authorities have yet to release the identity of those children or say if anyone was inside the home at the time of their deaths. Now, if you know anything, you are asked to call Brockton Police or the District Attorney's Office. For now, reporting live in Brockton, Nicole Burley, WCVB News Center 5.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Waterville couple charged in child sex abuse case. A Waterville couple are facing charges in a child sex abuse case. Police arrested Michael Stevens and Jennifer Stevens last week. They are charged with gross sexual assault. Investigators said the victim is under the age of 12 and the abuse happened between 2010 and 2014. The judge in the case called the details of the alleged crime deeply disturbing. Jennifer Stevens had her bail set at $250,000 after appearing in court last week. Michael Stevens appeared in court this afternoon, where the judge set bail at $250,000. And now let's take a look at your stock market and see how your market closed for your Monday evening. And here's a look at the stock market right now. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the red and went down. Your Nasdaq closed in the red and went down. S&P 500 closed in the red and went down. CNBC IQ 100 closed in the red and went down. Gold closed in the green and went up. Oil closed in the green and went up. US 10-year closed in the red and went down. Euro/USD closed in the red and went down. And VIX closed in the green and went up. Dow plummages 1,175 points in wild trading session. S&P 500 goes negative for 2018. U.S. stocks fell sharply Monday, extending a steep sell-off from the previous session as investors rushed for the exits in the wake of rising interest rates. For the S&P 500, it was the worst day in 6 years. Nazier gets another 40 to 125 years in prison. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
This is the 2018 Matan Classic Collection lineup. New classic style 13s, 17s, and 21s built right here in New England by the restoration leader, Matan Marine. Come see the new great retro boats along with Matan's latest restoration in the Matan booth number 191 at this year's New England Boat Show, taking place at the Boston Convention and Expedition Center. Meet the creator, Mike Borelli, along with the host of Shipshape TV, the G-Man. Opening weekend, Saturday and Sunday, February 10th and 11th. Meet the new legend in New England, Matan Classic Collection.
The words expressed by everyone that has spoken, including the parents, have impacted me to my innermost core. With that being said, I understand and acknowledge that it pales in comparison to the pain, trauma, and emotions that you are feeling. It's impossible to convey the depth and breadth of how sorry I am to each and every one involved. The visions of your testimonies will forever be present in my thoughts.
The framework of an appropriate sentence consists of 4 basic considerations: the likelihood or potential that the offender could be reformed, the need to protect society, the penalty and consequence appropriate to the offender's conduct, and the goal of deterring others from similar conduct. In looking at the first factor that I must consider, the likelihood or potential that the offender could be reformed, there are no facts on this record, nor has the court been provided with any basis to believe that this defendant could be reformed. In fact, just the opposite exists. The defendant methodically planned and carried out years of molestation against children by gaining not only their trust, but the trust of the adults in the institutions who would have been there to protect them. The defendant also molested adults who trusted him based upon his reputation and credentials. Clearly, you are in denial, you don't get it, and I do not believe there is a likelihood that you could be reformed. You will serve 40 to 125 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections. I believe this sentence is proportionate to the seriousness of the circumstances surrounding the offenses and of the offender. I am also required to inform you that should something happen and you would be released, that you must register as required by the Michigan Sex Offenders Registration Act and comply with all requirements of that act.
Okay, there you go on that video. That was video taken today in the courtroom. Former Olympic Dr. Larry Nassar was sentenced Monday to an additional 40 to 125 years in prison for abusing scores of girls and women in a serial sexual assault spree that went on for decades and was described as incomprehensible and spans the county and the world. That does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Monday night, and I'll see you back here tomorrow with another newscast. And I'll be back later on this evening for a news report. Good night, everyone. Bye.